Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for Below Grade Level. Buckle up and get ready for the time of your life. Hello and welcome to Below Grade Level, the show where we take the books that we read as kids and read them as adults and ruin them. I am one of your hosts, Jonathan Eaton, and with me as always are Chris Zaleski.
Hello.
And Bekah Eaton.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Pretty good.
Good. And with us today, our special guest, returning to the show, is Kelly Fuller.
Howdy.
How are you doing?
Just dandy.
That's your correct last name?
Just dandy?
Yeah, just dandy. Just dandy.
Kelly just dandy?
I was doing an intro on one of these episodes recently where you were on like one of the legacy things, and I was like, my guest on this episode, and I was like, Kelly Fuller. She got married. I think that's still her
I
last
did not
name.
change my last name.
I didn't think so.
Because of patriarchy and laziness.
That's fine. Okay, cool. So I was right.
Half.
It does take way too much effort.
I don't want to do that.
I still haven't changed it on everything, and it's been like 6 years.
I'm
my
way
God.
too lazy. But also, like, the thing that you don't think about with the name changing is that it makes it really easy for your mail. You can tell who's soliciting and who's not because they've just given me a different last name. And I'm like, this isn't for me. To the trash you go. The best is they've done it
is that I got married.
Yeah, they've also done it to my husband, too. So occasionally he gets stuff with my last name.
Oh,
and
that's
that
funny.
makes me feel powerful.
Oh, yay.
So now I know what a man feels like.
I've just been sitting here trying to remember what Alex's last name was.
It's
I
just
remember
Dandy.
it now.
It's just Andy.
Yeah. Alex just did.
Alex just dandy. So this episode, we are starting a new book, and we're starting something that we have never read before.
Uncharted territory.
So we've done Goosebumps, we've done Fear Street, we've done Babysitter's Club, and now we are branching out even more into, I don't know what the hell you would call this kind of book, because I've never read one of these, but
It's like sci-fi.
it's like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Animorphs. We're going to read an Animorphs book, and unlike Babysitter's Club, where we started at number 1, this is Animorphs number 42.
Oh, so I mean, close enough to the beginning.
Yeah. And
I'm sure they printed like 15 of these a year.
Yeah, I'm sure. This is Animorphs number 42, The Journey, written by K.A. Applegate. Definitely a real name. Totally a real name.
Related to Christina?
Who wants to describe what's happening on the cover of this book for our listeners?
Well, I think it's pretty standard for all of the Animorphs covers.
Uh-huh.
So we've got a lady in a little dress.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very 90s looking dress. Yeah, look at the floral pattern. She's in a definitely natural looking standing position. And it's just images of her going
Like
from
an
left
action
to
figure?
right.
Basically, like an action figure.
Yeah.
Going left to right, it's her transformation into an elephant. Ooh, do you see the tagline? Rachel is about to go where no human has gone before. ...
Space?
I know, that's what I thought.
Like, yeah, we were just
The
talking
Final
about Star
Frontier?
Trek. Yeah.
Cleveland?
Well, everyone wants to flee to the Cleaves.
Yeah, it's a nightmare vision of a girl turning into an
It's
elephant.
horrifying. I never read those books as a kid because I found the covers too upsetting.
Yeah, it's always like the in-between ones or that
Yeah.
first one right there where her nose starts elongating.
Oh, and she's like, and like tusks are coming out of her like cheek. They're coming out of her cheek.
I wonder if any of them got stuck, like,
Oh,
mid-transformation.
Stuck in the
They're just
middle.
like, kill me
Yeah,
now.
like
I'm a monster. I'm an affront to God.
her pose really is like a Barbie.
She
She's just
like
like
her arms are, she's like a store mannequin.
yeah, like
It's a
her,
really weird resting position.
her arms and legs are both at like 3/4.
How else will they let her arms reach the ground as an elephant? It just doesn't make sense
Ew,
otherwise.
Look at her arm in that one.
Oh,
Ew,
no!
look at her. Do you see her fingers? Do you see this?
Oh, no.
Oh god, her fingers are like turned into nails, like just toenails. Oh.
Elephant feet are weird.
They are.
I don't know if we want to just like jump right. Oh god. Okay, Chris, do you want to?
Okay.
So the inside cover.
Okay. All right. So the inside cover, because there's always a
More
wonderful
baffling than the front
illustration
cover.
It's way
Upsetting.
more baffling.
behind the cover, and it looks like they're on some sort of alien planet with some sort of centaur character with antennae, kind of like a
He looks like the Tick as a centaur.
Yeah.
I'd watch that show.
And it looks like he has 18 abs.
Oh, yeah,
And then there's another like lizard-looking guy.
Yeah.
And a giant elephant.
And just an elephant. Who?
So what I
Whose name
think
is Rachel.
What I think is that this looks like they're in front of a boot.
A boot?
Like that looks like a boot to me. So
Wait.
I feel like they're really teeny tiny in front of like a human boot. But then I don't know what
my
that
God,
gooey
wait.
stuff is. That's
Oh, yeah,
dripping
that
from
does
the
look
wall.
like
She's right. It is a boot. Why is the elephant so small then?
I don't know.
Is she shrinking too?
I don't know. What's that gooey stuff on the wall?
Oh God, I don't even like. It looks like sap. Everything about this is very upsetting.
I'm just thinking about the stuff that I chose to read as a kid instead of Animorphs, and like I read American Psycho, and somehow that seemed better.
Yeah,
You're
that's
missing out,
probably
is
less
what you're saying.
disturbing.
Like I
Was
almost.
I?
Oh wow, there's so many. I mean, these names give nothing away about. Ooh, there's a series called the Megamorphs
What?
and the Andalite Chronicles and the Alternamorphs. Oh boy. So here's my prediction. We're jumping in 42 books into this shit, and we're gonna have no. I read a little bit of the back cover, and I was like, oh no.
I'm hoping that it's like a lot of kids' books where it's very redundant and we get at least one page of like exposition
Okay.
of what the fuck they are and what the rules are of this world.
Okay, I hope so. All right.
I also just had a thought in my head that this concept is so similar to a lot of the books that me and Kelly have read on our other podcast, CD Reads,
Oh
where
my
humans
God.
turn into animals,
Yes.
but then they fuck each other.
Yeah, I was
so
just
that's
gonna
probably
say-
not
I
happening
was
in
gonna
this
say,
book for tweens.
The whole time you guys are
No.
gonna
but
be wondering.
it's a very similar concept.
Like, when will they fuck?
Well, see, the books that we read, they never fucked as like the bears.
Right.
It was
They never
bear
fuck as
shifters.
animals.
They always fucked as human men, which was
Yeah.
infinitely less interesting.
Yeah,
but,
right. Not like I want.
Although I don't know if I could have
bestiality, but,
handled
like,
any like descriptors of a bear dick, but
The most disappointing thing about that is when we read the mermaid books.
yeah,
Because that's like the question is like, how do you fuck a mermaid? Like,
Yeah, where's
where's
the
their
dick? But that
genitalia?
just-
Is it
Yeah.
in the scales? But no, they just turn into humans with legs
That's such
and
a
normal
cop
human
out.
bodies.
That's such a cop out.
we
I
did
know.
not get that question answered.
There should
the
be
quest
like.
continues. I'm gonna
Yeah.
find it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna regret it, just like with our Bigfoot finds.
Oh, you will definitely regret it.
God.
We should take this moment to plug you guys' other podcast, CD Reads.
Yeah, it's a podcast we never do.
But when you
We've
do
been doing it for like 5 years, have maybe 6 episodes.
but when you do it, it's so good.
Thank you.
It's a real weird look into the world of romance novels.
And it comes from a place of love.
It does.
I feel like I need to
we
say.
try to love it.
You guys ought to go to like the convention they have in Vegas. My mom went.
Really?
Oh yeah, well my mom loves romance novels.
She went to a convention in Vegas.
It was a gift from my sisters. She got to meet like a
sounds
lot of her
amazing.
favorite authors and shit.
That's pretty fun.
I feel like
Yeah.
if you guys went there, you would just like walk up to every author and be like, "Why?"
I don't think a lot of the authors we read would be at that convention.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of the stuff we read is like
Yeah,
the
Chuck
free,
Tingle seems like he
free
really-
Kindle.
Wants to keep his
Insanity.
identity
The woman
hidden.
who wrote the Viking books died.
Oh no!
She just died. Yeah.
The Viking killer?
Wait, Joanna Lindsay?
Did
Yeah.
a Viking
Oh, she
fucker?
died.
Oh, Joanna Lindsay died?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I just read about that.
Even you know that name.
Yeah, because she was like the.
She's like one of the
80s.
most like prolific
Yeah,
writers.
she's been doing
Yeah.
it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had something like 50 books or something that she'd written since the 70s or 80s. I don't remember. But
That's
yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Joanna Lindsay.
We dedicate this episode of Animorphs to you.
This episode of Below Grade Level where we read an Animorphs book is dedicated to Joanna Lindsay. I hope you're watching people fuck in heaven.
If you're sad about Joanna Lindsay, CD Reads.
Yeah, the episode you guys just did. The
Yeah.
last one was Joanna
Yeah.
Lindsay, yeah.
Vikings.
Right?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was. It was. We
Right.
well, we
there's so
recorded
many-
some at the same time, but no, the most recent one was the
my
Vikings
God.
one.
There are
I
so
want
many
you to
similar
start,
things where
'cause
I
I just read a
remember
little
we
bit of
did
the first
pirates,
page.
but I kept thinking the pirates were Vikings, and then the Vikings didn't really they weren't really like
No, the
sacking
Vikings
towns
were British
or anything,
people.
so they were just like people in a castle. They were just like Nordic in a Nordic region, but with English names.
Yeah,
it was very confusing.
I went on a tirade. I'm still mad about it.
It's hard to keep track of.
I'm
these
still
things.
mad about that. And Santa Clarita Diet 3.
Forever bitter.
Forever angry.
And if you're a fan of CD Reads and you like books about gardening, check out Reedy Seeds,
Jesus Christ.
the follow-up podcast from your people at CD Reads.
Boo.
Boo.
All right. Chapter 1. This is Animorphs, just to bring the listener back. Chapter 1. My name is Rachel, and I was facing down a controller in a purple and pink Dunkin' Donuts uniform. He was holding a Dracon beam, smirking the little jerk.
Okay.
Already.
We are in over our heads.
Sew! I'm imagining that's how that's pronounced. Tseeew. He fired at... Oh, that is how it's pronounced. He fired at point-blank range. Hit me right between my 3-foot-long tusks. I roared in pain and anger, mostly anger. Like a couple of Dracon beam blasts are enough to take down a 1,300-pound African elephant. Yeah, an elephant. I can morph into animals whenever I want. And I can also morph a cat and a cockroach and lots of other animals and bugs. Sounds like fun, right?
I hope the next sentence is like, let me rewind.
You're probably wondering how I got there.
What the
10 years ago.
I listened to that entire page with an open mouth. Dracon beam?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. She phased out a controller. She works at Dunkin' Donuts. There's a lot to unpack.
Does she have health care?
Is she in
My
the
guess is
Dunkin'
no.
Donuts?
It's probably hard to find a good vet in
Dunkin'
network.
Donuts
Did she-
uniform,
Did she
right?
just... Wait.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts uniform, so she works there.
It's probably hard to find a good vet in
Okay,
network.
Underpaid
the
and getting
controller-
shot.
The controller is wearing the Dunkin' Donuts uniform.
Oh,
See,
JK.
I thought it was an elephant wearing a Dunkin' Donuts.
So yeah,
holding
same.
a
Yeah.
Dracon beam.
A Dracon beam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Dragon beam.
Okay.
No, I'm going to go with Dracon.
We'll get there.
All right, I'm gonna read that last sentence again, just to set the mood, because otherwise we're gonna be like, what? Sounds like fun, right? Wrong. Like about 1% of the time, it's not seriously unpleasant. Mostly morphing as a weapon. A weapon is the most desperate battle ever fought by human beings. Here's the deal. Earth is under attack. The planet has been invaded by aliens called Yeerks. These guys aren't into exploring strange new worlds. They're into exploring strange new bodies. They're parasites.
Yeah, they are.
Sexy. Like lice or ringworm.
Yeah.
Only intensely worse. In their natural state, Yeerks are nothing but gray slugs until they infest a host body, enter the brain, sink down into the little crevices, and take complete control.
Little brain crevices.
Little brain crevices.
God, I'm getting so horny right now.
They're called brinkles.
Brinkles?
Yeah.
How do you spell Yeerk?
Yeerks.
And say it again still.
EERK.
S.
S. Yeerks.
Bad guys. I'm writing this down.
Gray slugs.
Gray
Yeah.
slugs. Gray slugs.
Brain control.
Brain control. Okay, carry on.
Oh, okay.
You can't.
Once they have you, you can't focus your own eyes or draw your own breath or decide when to pee. You are powerless.
What?
You know, all the most important things in life.
So they make you like
Hold your
blink
bladder
and
for
pee.
eternity or just pee yourself constantly.
Well, first you pass out from not being able to breathe, and then you pee yourself.
This book's so hot.
It's hard driving these humans.
Constantly needing to
Just
breathe
like pee
and pee.
everywhere.
You are powerless, a slave of the most complete and hopeless kind. You can still do one thing. Just one terrible thing. You can watch in horror as the Yeerk in your head lies to your family, betrays your friends, plots to take over your planet. Frightening? Oh, yeah. And it gets worse.
They make
Me?
shit coffee.
We are in a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, God.
Me and my friends are all that actively stand between the Yeerks and their evil conquest of humanity. Just a group of 5 kids and a young alien.
Awesome.
Oh, and an alien.
And
Yeah.
an alien. So there's only 5? Alright.
That doesn't seem like enough.
We're trying to hold on until help gets here from a few billion light years away. See, the Yeerks have enemies. A race of amazingly advanced aliens called Andalites.
Okay.
Andalites look like deer.
Shit, they're in our backyard all the time.
Hold on, I'm not done describing. If deer had blue and tan fur, humanoid arms, and scorpion-like tails tipped with wickedly sharp blades.
So, not at all like deer.
So that
No.
blue thing on the inside cover.
Yeah, that's definitely an Andalite.
The, like, centaur thing?
Yeah. So it's like a Yeah, it's like a bug centaur. Andalites also have 2 main eyes on their face and 2 on swiveling stalks that sprout from the top of their head. Beautiful and intelligent and cunning. Not too long ago, who am I kidding? What seems like a lifetime ago, an Andalite ship got fried right above Earth, torn out of the sky while battling the Yeerks. My friends and I saw it fall. Saw the dying Andalite war prince named Elfanger crawl from the wreckage. Listened, stunned, and just a little freaked out as he gave us the technology that allows us to morph. To acquire the DNA of any animal we touch and then to become that animal.
When did she touch
a
an elephant?
Cockroach.
Oh.
You can touch an elephant at the zoo.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. If they walk up close to the edge.
Yeah.
And you ask the handler. I've touched an elephant. And now I can morph into one.
Yeah.
But there was only one rule we had to follow. Stay in morph for more than 2 hours and you stay there forever. Become what Andalites call a Nothlit. Come on. Stuck in your morph for the rest of your life. Someone who means a lot to me knows about this firsthand. He'd stayed in morph too long and now he lives his life as a red-tailed hawk. That sounds awesome. He did regain his morphing ability, but when he demorphs, he's not a human. He's a bird.
What?
So you can morph into other things, but you can't morph back into human.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
I like the idea that like he told her all this, but just by going like,
Ah!
oh my
Maybe.
God.
Well, no, she can't be a hawk. Also, there's
where-
more bow downstairs, Chris.
Where the fuck? Okay.
Okay.
When he demorphs, he's not a human. He's a bird. That's the sad part. At least for me, is that he seems to like his life the way it is now. Why is that sad?
I'd rather he be miserable and a hawk than a happy hawk.
No, it sounds like he is a happy hawk.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She'd rather he be miserable and stuck as a hawk than just a happy hawk.
Okay. But even though it seems futile, we've been fighting ever since. Trying to hold on, even though we've just about given up waiting for any more help out of the sky. So here we are, Jake, our leader, and my cousin. Cassie, my best friend. Marco, Jake's best friend, and a totally annoying... Never mind.
Oh.
Love it.
Piece
Chris
of
calling
shit.
it now.
Tobias, a blue man, and a lost soul with the body of a bird.
I really have read too many of these romance novels.
And Elfangor's younger brother. Oh, fuck me. Elfangor's younger brother, Aximili Esgareth Isthil.
Ugh.
This is written by H.P. Lovecraft.
It's not racist yet.
Oops, I just called Cthulhu. We call him Axe because Jesus Christ. Oh, there's one important thing I forgot to mention. Yeerks feed on something called Kandrona rays. It's like it's hyphenated. Like, why you gotta make it harder than it already has to be? Kandrona rays.
Who typeset this?
This is my issue with sci-fi just in general, is like they try to bog you down so hard with these funky words that sometimes you can't pay attention to what sci-fi is really
The
about.
Glibbermacks like the scambly flapples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel like. That's what Rick and Morty does.
I was
like
just gonna
on
say Rick and Morty
Just like
purposefully lampoons it.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel
Floopy
about
doops.
Hitchhiker's Guide. As much as I love it, it's really fucking hard
I
to
don't
read.
like it
because
because
I'm like, I don't know what
yeah.
most of what you just said is, and then you're never gonna bring it up again, but you're gonna introduce like 5,000 new words in the next couple chapters.
The words are the joke.
The Yeerks' need.
Don't think silly words are that funny.
The Yeerks' need for Kandrona is the one flaw in their strategy, a weakness, an opening that we can exploit. Every 3 days, thousands of Yeerks gather together at the enormous Yeerk pool complex
At
built
the Yeerk convention
under
in
our
Las
town. Destroy the pool and the Yeerks will starve. How many fucking times are we gonna have to say Yeerk?
Take a drink.
Not enough.
We just found out from our... Oh my god. We just found out from our android allies, the Chi,
Cool. You're not writing these notes down.
that the Yerks were beginning.
It's too much.
I
It's
feel
already
like,
a lost
I
cause.
honestly at this point I was like, I gave up. That the Yerks were beginning mass production of portable Kandronas. The heads of the Yerk organization have had access to these for a while now. Oh my god.
I am already such a fan of this.
See, I was just thinking like we fucked up. We picked the wrong book.
But mass production, that meant each and every Yerk, no matter how low down on the corporate ladder, would be able to feed in the privacy of his or her own home.
So Yerks get promoted?
Yeah.
Wow.
As easily as you nuke a frozen pizza.
Aliens aren't safe from capitalism.
This Yerk's just an intern.
The Yerk pool would be obsolete. Our enemies would be rid of their only flaw. We just couldn't let it happen. So we'd attacked their factory, a dingy old industrial building on the edge of town. Of course. Windows painted black.
Bruce
The
Springsteen
Yerks.
song.
The Yerks had disguised it as a Dunkin' Donuts bakery.
I love that Bruce Springsteen's on the Yerk Factory.
No one would ever consider Dunkin' Donuts a bakery.
Darkness in the Yerk pool of town.
The human controllers were even dressed in the ever so stylish polyester fast food uniforms. The Pepto-Bismol pink poly did not help my mood. Neither did the fact that we were way outnumbered. 30 human controllers were working on a crude assembly line in the back of the building. 4 more were pretending to make donuts up front.
Someone's got to.
There were at least a dozen guards. I wrapped my trunk around the controller's waist, tossed my massive head, and let go. Ah! He yelled as he went flying. Then, thump. I killed him. I didn't see where he landed.
But I knew he was dead.
Elephant noise, I trumpeted. I'm not trying to do an elephant noise.
Did it say how old she is?
I didn't
We just,
hear
I'm
it.
kind of assuming preteen.
Yeah, I'm guessing like 13, right?
That sounds good. I don't know. I was gonna flip back and look, and I don't want to.
That's fine.
I don't think they said.
It's very likely that they did not address it.
Yeah.
Probably not. All right. Jake, Cassie, Axe, and Tobias were back by the assembly line on the other side of a false wall. I couldn't see them, but the elephant's ears were picking up moans and roars and cries and
Yeah.
Dracon beam blasts.
Oh, yeah.
Also, something that sounded like equipment smashing to the floor. Marco was on my side of the wall in gorilla morph. 3 controllers surrounded him. He lashed out with his ham-sized hands, but I just pictured giant hams at the edges of
Yeah, just like
King Kong with
wetly
hams.
smacking. Yeah. This is Mark.
honey glazed, smoked. But the controllers were slowly backing him against one of the 3 commercial ovens. Marco, I'm on my way, I shouted.
Polo.
Just when I'm having so much fun. I'm picturing he's like the Han Solo of the group.
Yeah, but a gorilla
Yeah.
with ham hands.
The controllers had their backs to me, didn't see me coming. I grabbed the middle one.
How? She's an elephant.
Yeah, that's not very
Didn't see me coming.
logic. I grabbed the middle one. Tossed. Ah! He yelled. Now they knew I was there. The right one turned his handheld Dracon beam at me. Too slow, I grabbed him. Tossed. No! He shouted. Marco moved forward, knocked the Dracon beam out of the 3rd controller's hand, whacked him a solid gorilla punch to the jaw. That is not a good sentence, guys.
Whacked him.
Whacked
Whacked
him
him
a solid gorilla punch to the jaw.
Which broke it completely off of his face.
Is there any hope for these people to get their bodies back?
Absolutely
Or are they
not.
just murdering them?
Yeah.
They're just dead now.
Child murderers.
All they know is that a slug went into their brain and then animals killed them all.
It's starting to feel like an allegory for like those child soldiers in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out there's no slugs. It was all just a plot to get them to kill people by like Krispy Kreme.
The guy went down and stayed there. Man, what's the opposite of run-on sentences? Because that's what this book is.
Ernest Hemingway.
Way too short. Fucking yes. I was also thinking Hemingway earlier.
Hemingway at least
There's like no starts to any sentence.
Yeah.
There's no like subject in a sentence.
Like, just from a writing perspective, you should have long sentences. And some of these short ones are fine, but they need to be, like, split
Yeah.
between like bigger sentences, or else the flow is really weird, and I just feel like I'm reading a telegram.
Stop.
Elephant, killed person. Stop. Gorilla,
Yeah.
smack.
Marco and I looked around.
Our part of the factory was littered with downed human controllers. Yerks who wouldn't be causing us any headaches for a long, long time. Also, all the dialogue is in, like, caret brackets
Wait,
and not
what?
quotation marks.
Whenever
Ooh,
I come
that's
across
confusing.
that, I'm always
It's really weird. It
Oh,
looks like a
I
video
think-
game.
I think,
I think it's because when they're in animal form, they're telepathic.
Oh.
is that? That's not. I've seen the carrots
I remember the
before.
Nickelodeon
But what about
Yeah.
like the yelling of the people they're killing?
That's in quotes.
That's in quotes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't...
So I think it's because that's how they communicate.
Oh,
when
wait, yeah,
they're animals.
there are quotation marks later in the book.
All right.
That's a weirdly unnecessary
I vaguely remember the TV show.
detail. Where was I? Okay.
It doesn't
Let's
matter.
yeah. Let's bail, Jake shouted. Axe says we've got 3 minutes left to stay and morph. I powered through the main entrance, taking most of the door frame with me. 3 minutes to demorph and be stuck as an elephant for the rest of my life. The others were right behind me. Axe in his own Andalite body. Jake moving fluidly in his tiger morph. Cassie as a wolf, fast and low. Tobias the red-tailed hawk. And Mark...
Wait, you're going too fast. Jake is a tiger.
Well, it seems like they can do multiple animals if she can do several.
Oh, okay.
But
Cassie,
Cassie's a wolf.
wolf.
Tobias is the hawk.
Look at this fucker.
And Marco's the gorilla.
Those carrot brackets are called guillemets.
Oh.
Or guillemets, maybe. But they're quotation
guillemot.
marks in different languages.
Oh.
Oh.
I think that was really interesting.
That is interesting.
I love that you Google things like
I
as
just-
often as I Google things.
I-
Like people
I just-
ask a question,
yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I don't know the answer, and I'm like, I will find it
Smartphones
now.
are like my favorite thing to happen just because I have Google at my fingertips.
Yeah.
I mean, I never
There's
remember.
no reason for anyone to say I don't know when they have a fucking
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
in their
Some
hand.
people will just sit there and be like, yeah, I don't know why that is.
I just
Someone
always
and then they're
at the bar
like okay
last
with
night.
it and
I could look
move
it up,
on.
but
I'm
I
not
won't.
okay
Yeah,
with
I'm
it.
not okay with it either. I like that I have that information just anytime I want it.
Someone at
Yeah.
the
Makes
bar
me
last
so
night
happy.
asked me when and where the Summer Olympics were, and I just stared at their phone and then at them.
I
And I guess
love.
I'll Google it.
I was a big fan of the Facebook posting the let me Google that for
Yeah.
you links. Just fucking Google it.
Yeah.
God damn it. Also Tokyo. How do you not know that? Summer Olympics are the ones people pay attention to.
I don't.
I don't.
I only pay attention to curling and the Winter Olympics.
I don't care, but I just know because that's the one that gets more broadcast.
Yeah. We ran down the deserted alleyway where we left our outer clothing. The
They're all
pavement,
naked.
the pavement was damp. Strange misty halos ringed the sodium vapor lights way overhead.
God, naked and adolescent. What a nightmare.
When they all like turn back, do they have to like be in like an outward facing circle?
They're all
Don't
like hiding
look at
behind
me!
trash
Don't
cans.
look!
Not a minute to spare. God, these sentences are too
What
fucking
part of the
short.
elephant does her boobs turn into?
The ears.
I'm sure elephants have nipples.
They do.
They're
Oh,
mammals.
They're mammals.
That's true. Yeah.
Fragments. That's what I was thinking of before. Lots of fragmented sentences.
Yeah.
Mm.
Crowded in around
What
the
crows?
stinking dumpsters. Yeah. Crowded in around the stinking dumpsters.
Cool.
For some reason, dumpsters is capitalized. And
Stinking
piles,
dumpsters.
It's a proper dumpster.
and piles of oily, wet rags, we stopped.
Thanks, guys. It was not that funny.
It was just like how it really was just like how casually you said it. Like it was such a throwaway. No, it's just it's a proper dumpster.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, I don't like the words I see coming up.
Oh, I'm so glad
And
you're
I'm
gonna
not
say them.
happy I have to read them.
Oh, I am.
Nice work, guys, Jake said. Let's get out of here. I focused on my own body and felt the changes begin.
Oh
my-
God, is this actually an allegory about puberty?
Yes.
My tusks went flaccid.
Bye.
Two
Thanks for having me on the show. Bye. Goodbye forever.
like two overgrown pieces of spaghetti. They slurped up into my face,
Ew.
slapping side to side as they retracted.
It's getting worse.
Guys, I don't think I'm
Every
fully changed back. I
word.
have like more hair now.
Every word was worse than the last.
Ew.
I hate it.
I'm just gonna finish this.
Yeah, I just finished that.
Morphing
Oh
is
my
not
God.
attractive. Actually, it's pretty much a freak show. My eyes sort of moved up and down as they traveled from the sides of my shrinking head to the front. Things went blurry for a second until human sight blinked on. And then, chapter 2.
Jesus.
I'm getting another beer because I can't fucking handle
Oh
this.
my god. I want to read more about her flappy tusks.
I wish we were starting from the beginning so bad.
Her flaccid spaghetti tusks. What'd you say?
I said I wish we were starting from the beginning so bad.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. What? Who was that? Cassie, chapter 2.
It was a howl.
Who was that? Cassie demanded with a mouth that was half wolf and half human. A small explosion of light, Axe said. I believe it is part of a primitive visual recording device called a camera.
What?
Marco exploded.
Someone took a picture of me? Not cool. Do you see what I'm wearing? I'm Spandex Boy. Totally not cool.
I heard a garbage can tumbling over. Squeaky footsteps on the wet pavement. Someone was running away.
Everyone stay put.
Jake said.
We can't let anyone see us. Tobias?
I'm on it. Tobias flapped his wings and rose up over Marco's head. Well, this is great, isn't it? Marco said. We closed down a Yerk-run operation only to let some tabloid photographer sneak up on us.
What
I
is
bet we're
that
on the cover of the National Enquirer tomorrow. You don't know it was a professional photographer, Cassie argued. A kid can hope, can he? What? Not funny. Jake, his mouth pressed into a grim line. One of the reasons we've survived as long as we have is that the Yerks don't know who we are. They think we're a group of Andalite bandits.
Bandolites.
Yeah.
If they found out we were a bunch of human kids, we'd be dead or infested within hours. No doubt our entire families, too.
Can they not infest Andalites? What fucking difference does it make?
I don't know.
Tell me the answer.
I'm going with Tobias, I said grimly. I concentrated on the bald eagle DNA buried somewhere deep inside me. Gross.
Wait, is that Rachel?
Did they fuck?
Yes.
She didn't say she could be an eagle?
Yeah, what?
Demorphing and morphing, especially after battle, is exhausting. But I couldn't just stand around and wait. So much easier to do something. Anything.
She touched a bald eagle
Oh,
at some point.
Yeah.
more
That's a lot
Considering
harder to
how
touch than an elephant.
Rare they are.
Yeah.
And
more morphing, guys.
Oh, ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
The first thing to change was my mouth. My lips bulged out, grew hard and stiff,
why is
and
this
turned
like
yellow.
more graphic than like the erotica we
It
read?
is.
Yeah. It's way more upsetting.
Thud, I fell forward as my legs rapidly shrank. Oh, wrong way.
She just like fell beak first into the ground.
Gross. The slimy bricks of the alleyway rushed up at me. A feather tattoo started at my fingertips and covered my arms in a few seconds. Man, I wish that's how tattoos really worked.
Yeah.
Just
A few
shoot
seconds.
out of me.
What, oh, is she turning into a hawk? Or an eagle? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But also tattooed? No. Suddenly, the pattern sprang up, and my arms and legs were covered with actual feathers. See, this is where reading ahead would have answered my question. The feathers
still
were
doesn't
dark
make
brown.
any sense.
No, it does not.
First, it looked like someone drew feathers on me. Then they were
But
feathers.
then they were feathers.
First, I started out looking like an aha video. The feathers were dark brown, except for the snowy white ones that replaced my blonde hair and the skin of my face and neck. My feet split open and formed yellow talons.
Ugh.
This is...
It's like Cronenbergian.
Yeah, thank you. I was thinking of like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly
Yes.
while we were talking
Yeah.
about this. Just like the
It's gotta
grotesqueness
be
of
like
it.
painful.
It has to be. Your feet splitting open.
Ugh.
Even if you have the ability to morph, that's still going to be like if you don't have the pain of like your skin splitting. If we ignore that because you've got the powers, that's still like your bones.
Your bones are all
shifting.
changing and
Like just the movement of bones. Like they have
if you
growing
turn
pains.
into a
It's just
cow,
you
you
growing
grow like
taller.
5 more stomachs.
That's one thing I really liked about the Ed Norton Hulk is that he described him changing as like extremely painful because his bones are constantly breaking and reknitting and shit.
Yeah. I mean, like, they talk about growing pains, which is just you're getting taller. And, like, just that hurts. And that's, like, way less intense than this. My feet split open and formed yellow talons, each of which ended in a hooked claw. Claws that could grab a swimming fish out of a rushing river. My human bones became hollow and light. I just thought of Phoebe from 30 Rock. I have hollow bones.
My bones.
Careful the bones.
Moments later, I was airborne, cruising soundlessly over the deserted streets. I could see the Dunkin' Donuts bakery a few blocks away. I'd also like to point out that Dunkin' Donuts does not need to be in quotes.
Oh, I saw the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I know. Like, we being sarcastic about it? Are you a Starbucks
Maybe
gal?
it's like a legal loophole.
Well, it is kind of a front for their evil operation.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were
Maybe
making
it's
real
like
donuts
Nathan
or not.
Fielder's dumb Starbucks.
I forgot about that.
Oh, rubble spilled out the door. Nobody was stirring. The whole neighborhood was quiet, which was good. No commando force of controllers. Not yet, anyway. There! I spotted Tobias maybe 200 yards ahead and to my right, flying over some mid-rise buildings. Tobias, I called. Who was it? Some kid, he said. About our age. He had one of those disposable cameras. Where is he? I asked. Fucking tell me now.
I lost him, Tobias said grimly. He ran into that building with the pigeon cages on the roof. What if they're all people in the pigeon bodies?
God!
Let's go after him, I said. No sign of him through any of the windows, but it's getting dark and I don't have the best vision for this job at night. Neither did the bald eagle.
But your vision is
Like, you're-
amazing. You have evil vision.
Should have touched
Did
an owl.
but they don't have night vision.
Oh.
Eagles don't hunt at night.
That's true. I
Yeah,
guess.
they need an owl for this
Yeah.
job.
Also, real quick,
They need
How
an
did
owl
they
in the
go
game.
locations?
Yes.
how did she know that she only had 3 minutes left before she would be an elephant forever when she was an elephant?
Somebody else was keeping time and told them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Somebody else was like, 3-minute warning.
Okay, 3-minute warning. Out of the pool.
I'm just thinking of like stage managers. 3-minute warning.
Yeah.
Thank you, 3.
But by then I knew the others were on their way. When Jake felt it was safe, they'd gone... Okay. When Jake felt it was safe, they'd gone owl and followed us. The 6 of us circled the buildings. Okay, so everyone's just everything. Why is there a different animal on the cover of each
How many
one?
animals
Yeah, I
did they
figured,
find?
could be
I
every
figured this
animal
would be like
ever.
elephant specific.
Yeah, me
that's
too.
What I thought. I thought she'd be learning how to turn into an elephant, not
Yeah,
starting
like her
the book as an
elephant
elephant.
origin story.
they
Instead, we're
lose
thrown
the
into the
ability
middle
if
of a
they
battle
wash
we
their
have no
hands?
understanding of.
What?
Do they lose the ability if they wash their hands after touching the animal?
If you practice proper hygiene, you can't animorph.
Do you think her memory is really good? Or isn't she touched an elephant?
Shut up.
Get out of here. Leave. Leave your own house.
The 6 of us circled the building, waiting for the kid to come back out or appear in a window. Nothing happened except that the strange mist turned into a steady downpour. Jake made the call. We need to keep an eye on this kid, he said. But there's no need for all of us to be here. Axe Tobias, take the first watch. We arranged a quick schedule, then split up. I didn't sleep well that night. I spent 2 hours dreaming I was on the cover of Time magazine as a half-human, half-elephant freak, much like the picture on the cover of this book.
Yeah.
Wet noodle tusks.
Yes, flaccid tusks dripping out of my face. Not
Slapping
exactly
around.
the kind of fame that makes mom and dad proud. What other fame makes your parents proud? Are you a child star? At 3 o'clock, I morphed owl and flew back to the
Proud of all the
apartment
money they're going to
building.
steal from
So
you.
wait, she did have an owl? She had the eyesight the whole
guess.
fucking time? That's so dumb.
Tobias and Axe reported that they hadn't seen anything. Cassie and I spent the next 2 hours flying in endless circles.
Oh my god. I hope the rest of this book is them flying.
I hope there's more wet noodle tusks.
So gross.
You ever feel like you're on drugs, but you know you're not? This is my experience reading this.
Yeah. Oh boy. Jake and Marco relieved us at 5. I went back to my bed and my nightmares of exposure and infestation. Jesus. By 8:30 Saturday morning, I was awake and heading to Cassie's barn for a meeting. I was tired and grumpy. The weather was rainy and cold. I wanted a nap. Maybe after we got that film. Tobias was in his usual spot in the rafters. Cassie was mucking out a stall? What?
It means getting the shit
Yeah.
out of a stall.
Oh, gross. Margot was sitting on a stool looking all conditioned and blown dry. Jake kept yawning.
Boner.
He looked rumpled, like he'd just crawled out of bed, which he probably had.
He just crawled out of an owl.
I just had tauntaun.
Yeah, slithered out.
Yeah.
Axe was
Slort.
back on watch at the kids' apartment building.
Let's try and keep this meeting short.
Jake said.
I don't want Axe on surveillance alone.
I don't get it.
Marco said.
What was the kid doing all night?
Probably sleeping, I grumbled. We need a plan, Tobias said. Easy. We steal the film, I suggested.
That's not a plan, oh reckless one.
That
What?
is not a thing I added. Oh, reckless one, Marco said snidely.
That was my plan. That's what I figured they were going to do.
Yeah.
That's obvious, but I'm ready.
Jake nodded. I spotted the kid around dawn. His apartment is on the 5th floor. The bedroom faces an empty lot in back.
This poor kid's looking out the window and just seeing owls circling for hours and hours.
Yeah. Wait, isn't Rachel the protagonist?
Yeah.
So,
Thought so?
well, yeah, the narrator. So it says like, I grunted, I suggested, and then it says, did you see the camera? Rachel asked.
Oh.
Bad writing.
Bad
Ooh,
writing.
that's confusing.
Bad writing. I think so, Jake said.
Maybe we only get their point of view when they're morphed,
On his
but I don't know.
Yeah.
Still not understand.
On his desk. I also just realized in the bottom corner of
Yeah,
the
that
book
little flip
Oh, yeah,
book.
is a
there's a flip.
silhouette, and it's a flip book of her turning into an elephant. That's cool.
We get it now, I said, before he hands it over to someone or takes it to Photos R Us.
What?
Cassie leaned against her rake. Probably 100 people live in that apartment building, she pointed out. Some of them could be controllers. Yeah, Marco said. So maybe the kid is in the elevator with a neighbor and he just happens to mention these weird creatures he saw in a dark alleyway last night. Before you know it, there's a knock on your door and it isn't someone with a check for $1 million. This is amazing. He could be a controller himself, Tobias said. We've got to go in. He's Batman, yeah.
He is Batman, yeah.
Jake said with another yawn. We could try zip. it's in there. I'm not making this shit up. I'm loving every bit
We
of
have
this.
added so little to this book.
What the? Marco jumped to his feet. A radio-controlled toy car blew into the barn. More precisely, a slightly damp pink and aqua Barbie 4x4. Only instead of Barbie, a very small spaceship sat in the driver's seat. The ship was 3 or 4 inches long, shaped like a baton, with 2 big engines at the back. What?
What?
Okay, hold on. The ship was 3 or 4 inches long, shaped like a baton, with
sounds
2
like a
He
big,
sounds like a dildo.
in quotes, engines at the back and a death's head bridge in the front. The ship looked way too
What do you do
familiar.
with the 3-inch dildo?
What's it? Nothing.
Insignificant creatures, give us the power source and learn to accept your fate as our eternal slaves. You want me to just finish it? We will not crush and annihilate you as we will crush and annihilate all the inferior species on this planet. Oh man, I said, you've got to be kidding. Not these guys again. So, like,
What?
Micronaut aliens in a tiny spaceship?
Why is this
In a Barbie car?
Wait, why is a spaceship driving a Barbie car?
I don't know, but I'm so excited to find out.
Why is the spaceship, which apparently looks like a dildo,
You
driving
guys,
a car?
I'm starting to think starting with number 42 is a mistake.
You'll think?
I'm starting to think Animorphs, it's just, as a concept, was a
It's
mistake.
way better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh my god.
It's so much.
Is it all,
I'm so tired.
One blade.
So tired.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Every person on the show is just like, I'm never coming back.
It's nice knowing you guys.
We're starting with a quote here.
Yeah, so chapter 3 begins with a quote from the log of the Helmicron females.
Yes.
I was hoping we'd hear from them.
Yeah, that's what we've been missing. The Helmicron female perspective.
Oh Oh, fuck.
Oh, most powerful Emperor, Lord of the Galaxy. Bad news. Our ship's engines have again malfunctioned. The treacherous Popinjay males pushed the red button instead of the blue one. Weaker and less
Stupid
worthy
fucking males.
servants would be vanquished by this disaster. But the brave Helmicron females are undaunted. We alone will capture the blue box of transforming power. All the galaxy shall tremble before us, rightful leaders of our race. I would like to point out that every single sentence I just read ended in an exclamation point. It's like me writing a work email.
Please advise.
Hope you're
Ignore
well.
me.
Thanks. We just want to know where that file is. Thanks. Don't hate me. Thanks. Bye.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
This is ready for you! Exclamation point. Let me know if you need
Thanks.
anything else! Exclamation point.
Smiley
Thanks!
face, smiley
Exclamation
face.
point, smiley face.
Ugh. Ow, my brain. Choo. I'm having a really hard time, and this is just one page. I felt 2 pinpricks on my neck, like mini mosquito bites. Ah! Ow! Maybe it was the lack of sleep, but I was already extremely ticked off.
There's tiny little aliens.
I wanted to pop those little jerks. The Helmicrons, Marco said with an amazed shake of his head. I can't believe someone hasn't blasted these maniacs out of the universe by now.
Write this shit down now too.
The Helmicrons are a race of tiny aliens.
Cool.
About a 16th of an inch tall, tops.
What?
But it's a 16th of an inch of egomania. They sound pretty harmless, right? Wrong. They have this shrinking ray, the technology to make you very, very tiny, to bring you down to their size.
That explains why the next to a giant boot
Yeah.
This makes them both annoying and dangerous. You would have the lords of the universe wait? The Helmicron voice in my head blustered. We demand the power source, and we demand it now. Follow our orders and live as our debased swine. Or resist us and be blasted into twisted molecules. Exclamation points. See our might. Learn to obey your new masters. I don't get it, Jake said. We already gave them one jump start. What the fuck does that mean? Why are they here again? Gave them a jump start? Sounds like you're helping them on their way.
Yeah.
Not killing them. Who cares, I asked. Let's just get rid of them.
Step on them.
Maybe something went wrong with their ship, Cassie said. Hey, where are they going? The Barbie mobile backed up, did a 180, and zipped toward the back of the barn. Oh, I fucking love that they're in a Barbie car.
I didn't know this book was going to be intentionally funny.
Fuck.
The powers... Oh my god.
I am barely following what is happening.
Oh, I'm not at all.
Holy
I'm,
shit.
I'm literally, as soon as it's like going out into the atmosphere, my brain's like deleting the files.
Yeah, look, I
God.
just read that and I still didn't understand what I read.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying the ride.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Let's go, Marco said. We got up and trotted after them. I could hear Tobias flapping above us. We caught up in time to see the truck's rubber tires bounce off a battered freezer chest in one of the empty stalls. Jake met Cassie's eyes. Is it in there? Yes. It was the blue box. That's what we call it. The Andalites have another name for it. Several, actually. And
List them all, please.
do you want to know what all of them fucking are? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, it's the device... It's not in there.
Okay.
Anyway, it's the
God.
device they use to transfer the morphing power to an individual. Kind of like a super advanced alien battery. Elfangor used it on us. Last time we saw the Helmicrons, we made a deal with them. They could use the blue box to power up their engines. Then they had to get off Earth pronto and stay the fuck off Earth forever because I fucking hate the Helmicronians. Helmicrons.
Say it again.
Helmicrons. It's my favorite kind of mayonnaise.
Don't laugh at that.
Don't.
Obviously, they hadn't kept their half of the bargain. They're cutting into the freezer, Tobias announced. I couldn't see anything, but
He's a hawk. Everything he says should be followed by caw.
Oh, yeah. They're cutting into the freezer. I couldn't see anything, but hawks have amazing vision. You'd have to have outstanding eyesight to see what the Helmicrons were doing with their tiny energy beams. Cassie shot a nervous look over her shoulder. My dad doesn't need to see this.
That's the word you struggled with?
I struggled with the sentence as I was going through it. My dad doesn't need to see this. No problem, I said. I grabbed a pitchfork to go murder her dad.
That was leaning up against the wall. I'll get them. I'll help. Marco grabbed a ceramic pot. I'm gonna trap those weirdos like bugs under glass.
Oh, I thought they were going to smash them.
We moved toward the freezer. The pink and aqua truck spun around and raced right between us. Marco pounced. I pounced and jabbed the pitchfork down on top of the truck.
I love it because I had a Barbie truck, so I'm picturing it exactly.
Vaguely aware that my elbow had hit Marco and that he was stumbling backward, clutching his head. So what? The Helmicron ship had rolled off the truck and was tumbling toward the freezer. All I had to do was grab it and save it for later. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Marco lose his footing and trip. Get it, Cassie screamed. Look out.
Trip on that pitchfork.
Thunk. Marco sliding down the side of the freezer, slumping forward into the hay. What happened? I demanded. Marco hit his head on the corner of the freezer.
Jesus.
There's blood
Marco's
everywhere.
dead now.
Cassie had already rushed to Marco's side. Marco? Marco? Can you hear me? Just every time in my head. Polo, 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 Polo. It's just an instinct ingrained you from childhood.
No reply. He was out cold. Man, these Helmicrons are bad news, I complained.
Did you say homocrons?
No! Helmicrons!
Sounds like that at all.
These
Homocrons.
Your intolerance is showing.
You Omicron. So dumb. Okay.
Jake raised an eyebrow. Rachel, you were the one who elbowed Marco in the head. Because the little monsters were distracting me. They're getting away, Tobias shouted. Ah! I glanced down. The Helmicron ship was right where it had fallen. I picked it up. No worries, I said. I've got them. Tobias swooped towards Marco's head and narrowly missed grazing Cassie with his talons. Hey, watch out! Cassie yelled. They're getting away, Tobias repeated. Then I got it. The Helmicrons had bailed out of their ship. They were loose somewhere in the barn. Where are they? I demanded. Heading straight for Marco's nose. I have no idea who the fuck's saying this. What? But I was already down on my knees, inches from Marco's face.
Yeah, it was.
Frantically, I scanned the hay and dirt. Move, Tobias ordered. Get away from him so I can see. Cassie and I scrambled back. Oh no, Tobias said. This is bad. Very, very bad. What? Jake demanded.
They're up his butt.
Just wait. I saw the next sentence.
They went up his nose, Tobias said. How many? About a dozen. Ha-ha! One of the Helmicrons cried. The vicious human attacks us with a mighty metallic weapon, but we are not defeated.
You know what I thought the story was missing was a magic school bus angle.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, is the rest of this book inner space?
So great.
Give us the power source now, and we will kill you quickly. Hesitate, and we will prod you with sharp sticks before you die.
Sexy.
Well, with a deal like that. Give me one good reason why we should cooperate with you pipsqueaks, I demanded. They just told you the reason.
They're in
Quick
your friend's
death.
nose.
Grovel and beg our forgiveness, the Helmicrons demanded. Do as we say, or your oblivious comrade will die. Newsflash, I said. Keep threatening us and you'll never get off Earth alive. Brave Helmicron females care nothing for their own safety, the voice shouted. I love the Helmicrons. They're great. We care only for glorious victory.
Any diminutive race that is just completely disregarding their own size is amazing.
It's like Chihuahua complex.
As do we, the newly liberated and courageous Helmicron males. Came another voice. Newly liberated.
Boo.
Were the males? The men were just like
it sounds like it's a
in
matriarchy.
jail. That's great. I love.
I
these
know. I'm
Helmicrons.
down.
We will kill the gigantic alien. The first voice shouted. Not if we kill it first. The second voice answered. Then the Helmicrons fell silent, probably beginning their march deeper into Marco's nose. What's this about male and female? Jake asked. The fuck is happening?
Who goddamn knows?
Wow, we really should have started with book
Marco's
one.
notes.
Turns out it is
I
consequential.
don't know if it would have helped. I really don't.
I don't think it would have. Cassie shrugged. Don't you remember when the Helmicrons were here before? Marco and I kind of gave the males a little pep talk.
What?
Blowjob. We didn't like the way the females were always bossing them around.
Wow.
Yeah,
fucking stay out of their
okay.
business.
This is a good thing.
You don't know what life's like on Helmicron.
Jake said,
Because now the Helmicrons have even more reasons to fight amongst themselves.
in Marco's
Some
notes.
second wave feminism bullshit.
I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. Chapter 4. Marco woke up about 2 seconds later, sneezing furiously. He took one look.
Yeah, just give him the neti pot.
Yeah, right? He took one look at the three of us staring into his face and got real worried real fast.
What happened?
He demanded, rubbing the back of his head and giving me a murderous look. Well, not anything good, I said honestly. Not anything you're going to like.
What's the matter?
Marco asked. The
Helmicrons kind of...
Jake started.
You're sort of...
Tobias said. A hostage, Cassie provided. Marco's eyes went wide, but before he could ask any questions...
Hashu! He sneezed, cupping his hand over his mouth. Did he sneeze them out? Jake demanded. I don't see them, Tobias reported. Marco, open your hand. Marco glared at us and climbed to his feet. What is the matter with you people? He demanded suspiciously. Why are you interested in my bodily fluids? Where are the Helmicrons? Cassie came forward and slipped an arm around Marco. They cleared out of their ship, she said calmly, and they went up your nose.
To hide?
What difference does it make?
Well, no, Jake said. More like, and I'm just guessing, it's because they want to kill you.
No way!
Marco rubbed at his nose, let out a snort. That is so not okay with me. That's how it's written.
That's how I'd react.
This is not cool, guys. Not cool.
Not cool.
Calm down, Cassie said.
Calm down!
Marco bellowed.
I have Helmicrons up my nose. Lunatics! And they want me dead. No, I most definitely will not calm down.
I love the voice we picked for him. I just thought we could think more clearly without you shouting, Cassie said.
Think about what? Marco demanded. We have to get them out. They're armed.
Yeah.
They might blow an artery or, something else important.
I can't think of any other important part of a human body.
An artery or my nose bones.
What exactly do we have to think about? Do something! We will, I shouted. Just give us time to think. Marco frowned and flicked at his nose.
Flick, 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 flick.
Ow, ow, ow.
Tobias, you better get Axe, Jake said. First, see if you can get Eric to keep watch for us. He won't be able to follow the kid with the camera if he leaves the building.
I forgot about there was a kid with a camera.
So did I.
You can think of anything else but Helmicrons.
But at least we'll know where he is. Tobias flared his wings and was gone. Can we go in after them? Jake asked. Cassie made a face. Smallest morph?
I was just thinking that What's-Her-Face said she could be a bunch of different bugs.
Yeah.
If she could
Oh,
be
yeah.
an ant, she could get up in there and kill them.
I guess a flea is small enough to get into nasal passages. It might be tight, though. Maybe a tick? Ticks are useless in battle, I said.
Ticks are useless in battle? What is that sentence?
A tick...
Ticks are useless in battle.
My face is swollen shut from ticks, so I'd say not entirely
Ticks
useless.
have killed
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Ticks have
And
been
haven't you
allergic to
seen
meat.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Like,
Yeah.
even if they were an ant, they could still fuck up tiny little other tiny
That's
guys.
a movie that traumatized me.
Yeah.
The,
Like fucking
that
bugs.
ant dies.
Ugh.
Oh, awful.
Yeah, they've got those pincers.
Oh, no, Helmicrons.
Anything with like a mouth with like
Yeah.
dangly bits.
Man.
Yes.
I wrote down ticks are useless in battle, and I know we won't remember why.
Excuse me, Marco cried. Are you planning to have a battle in my nose? You have a better suggestion? I demanded.
No.
Marco whimpered, slumping down on a bale of hay. Ideas? Jake demanded. Cassie sighed. Well, we have the Helmicron ship. We could power it up with the morphing cube, get tiny, and go after the Helmicrons as humans. That is, assuming the controls are still working. Nobody said anything for a few beats.
What happens if he morphs while they're inside him? Like, what happens to them?
I imagine they would be
also wondering
fine.
that.
I'm thinking he might not be so fine
If they
cared about.
He'd explode.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he would just be like,
Gross.
it's your classic inner space scenario.
Considering, pretending not to glance at Marco. I know Marco. Marco is a get-it-done guy. He has the
Gross.
strategic mind of a serious
Filthy.
military man in the body of a preteen. And he's never afraid to make unpopular decisions for the good of the mission. He knew our going after the Helmicrons was the fastest way to solve the problem. He wasn't going to stand in the way of the goal. Still, we were talking about invading his body in an unbelievably intimate way. He had a right to be a jerk about it if he wanted to be. That could work, Jake said tentatively. Nothing from Marco. What could work? Tobias asked. A red-tailed hawk and a northern harrier fluttered into the barn and settled into the rafters. Tobias and Axe. We were just thinking about using the controls aboard the Helmicron ship to shrink ourselves and go after the aliens in Marco's nose, Jake explained.
Duh.
Like you just said that a page ago. Yes, Axe said. I believe it is the only way. We have to find the Helmicrons. They have too much information. Marco squeaked. This is so Magic School Bus. Rachel, have I ever told you that you could definitely be my Miss Frizzle? Ooh. I ignored
This book
him.
is so hot.
Jesus
I
Christ.
want to make sweet science with you.
Marco is into Rachel.
Oh, shit.
And she's ignoring him. Oh my god.
I ignored him. What information? Cassie demanded, but Marco had already figured it out. Here's a whole paragraph of Marco.
The Helmicrons know we're humans with morphing power. From what we've seen, the Helmicrons hate the Yerks, and vice versa. But if the...
When did he turn into Marvin the Martian?
The Emerdium P-32 space modulator. But from what we've seen, the Helmicrons hate the... Oh, I already read that part. Yerks! If the...
Please tell me we're done soon.
But if the Helmicrons learn that Visser 3...
Fuck, what? Visser 3 is looking for a group of morphing bandits?
Then there was something in it for them. The Helmicrons would sell us out in a minute.
Jake sighed. Along with the rest of us. Okay, we go after them. No choice.
Isn't anyone going to ask me what I think?
Marco demanded, his arms wrapped around his belly. They went up your nose, man.
The nose you're talking about happens to belong to me, Marco.
Like I said, I know Marco. He'd already accepted the plan.
He doesn't sound like it. He sounds
Yeah.
like he's bitching about it
Yeah.
a lot.
Jake gave Marco an impatient look. Well,
Oh, sure.
Marco said weakly.
Make yourself at home. Just try to be neat. Think of it as the national nose land.
What?
Keep it in good shape for generations to come.
What?
This deserves a fucking
Oh.
Pulitzer.
So before we continue,
My
I just want to say that I
God.
found the opening for the TV series.
Oh, fuck, yes.
I was just staring at the cover while you guys were reading and just thinking it's this other book. We have two books here, and the other one says Watch Animorphs on Nickelodeon, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh my god, they had this animation in the 90s. This can't have looked good.
No.
So I found it.
Oh, my God.
I would like to
Let's
see
gather
that,
around
please.
and
Yes.
take a quick
so,
break.
you know, great podcasting fodder, but
Describe it. Kids are running. Oh,
In the fog.
sort of.
Ooh, there's an ear.
Ooh, why?
Just an ear.
There's a spaceship. Oh my god. Ooh, there's the kids. They're humans. There's a tunnel. There's the
that-
blue cube. The blue box. Now it's orange. Oh my god.
Shawn Ashmore. He played Iceman
What?
That's what he looks like.
in
Okay.
the X-Men movies.
Yeah. You gonna see
Okay.
any morphing?
Yeah, they're
I
just
assumed
kids
we'd
so
see
far.
some morphing. Oh, that's it. That's disappointing.
Wait, yeah.
I gotta find some of the
Yeah, find a morphing scene.
I thought they would wait.
Oh.
Wait.
I love
We are not
Oh,
sponsored
boy.
by Liberty. Give us money, Liberty.
Alright.
Ooh.
Ooh, oh god. Oh no.
Oh my god. That looks like
Wait.
some King's Quest
Wait,
shit.
No, this is
the-
someone just taking images from the books.
Oh, that's dumb. Never mind. YouTube. You-
Did they-
YouTube betrayed us.
What if, like, on the show, they just morphed off screen?
You never see
They're
it.
just like, morphing power, and then it cut away, and it cut back, and it was just an elephant.
That's okay.
yeah,
Animorphs, dog morph.
Okay, here we
Okay.
go.
Alright. He's touching a dog. He's accepting the DNA into his own body. The dog booped him.
booped the man's snoot.
That's...
The dog looks like he knows something weird's happening.
The dog's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. The dog is lying down.
Is
Are
the
they just,
dog
like- Are
dying?
they in like a pipe?
The
They
kid...
appear to be in a pipe. Ooh,
Okay,
his
it's
face.
a close-up of a face morphing.
That dog would be freaking out.
And oh no, no, the dog is watching in abject horror.
As he should.
Oh god. I feel like oh no.
Ew,
oh, no.
his hand
Oh,
now.
no.
Ugh. Oh my
It's
god,
both
it's
better
taking
and
so
worse.
long.
It's like
than I-
American Werewolf in London. It's the noises are like bones breaking.
I feel like we're watching like a dog fighting video.
Yeah. None of this, the book or what we're watching right now, feels like it should be for children.
No,
No.
that dog looked
It's
upset.
a lot of body horror.
That dog was like, oh god, like have I died?
Alright, well, getting back to it. Chapter 5. Axe fluttered down from the rafters. Jake nodded. Tobias? No problem. Tobias would keep watch. Let us know if anyone got close enough to the barn to see Axe do his thing. Axe began to change. His sharp raptor head ballooned up. His bright yellow hairier eyes migrated to the top of his head, turned blue, and sprouted stalks. Total freak show.
Oh, right. He's one of the alien guys.
He's an alien deer. You know, like a deer, but if a deer was a nightmare.
Why did the
deer
Helmicrons
was
have
a
to
blue
show up
scorpion.
today? Marco whined. I already used my Honey, I Shrunk the Animorphs joke the last time they were around. I just can't get a break.
Oh, we missed that in a different book.
We need to find that other Helmicron book. We need to read it.
That's what I want to read
Love
about.
the Helmicrons. I wish they had their own series.
Screw these kids.
I want to read the Helmicron spin-off.
Yeah. Cassie went to the freezer and started digging for the morphing cube. I followed her. Mostly
Like a morphine cube.
somehow.
We all need the morphine.
We need
Yeah.
a morphine cube. Mostly because the sick look on Marco's face was making me uneasy. Why does your dad keep a freezer out here? I asked her. Because he's a murderer. We store stuff in it, Cassie said. She handed me an unidentifiable lump of something. It was frozen solid, so cold my fingers started to ache. Like what? Frozen grubs, Cassie said, leaning back down into the freezer. Certain, bodily fluids from the animals. Oh, and popsicles. Dad likes grape.
What?
Is it like a
What?
stud
What
farm?
in the
He's
fuck?
a murderer.
Is there frozen horse jizz next to grape popsicles?
Sounds
in that
like
freezer?
it.
Both of them are purple.
I mean, it seems like, my guess is like urine.
Like, yeah,
actually.
like fox pee, but not in the freezer.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
would
Unless
freeze pee.
I don't know, maybe
You
it
want it
keeps
to be
longer that
fresh.
way.
You don't want like stale pee.
But
What do you want pee for?
freezing keeps it closer to freshness than like other means of preservation. So maybe it is frozen pee.
It might be frozen pee.
What's the P for?
Hunting?
You use like a fox pea. Wait, not fox pea. Is it fox pea? You use pea for like warding off. You use pea. You use pea
Use
for
the pea of a bigger predator to ward off smaller predators.
Yeah. So
Okay.
You can literally buy, like you can go to like hunting places and buy. I think it's fox pea because it's like pungent. It tricks other animals into thinking that they're around.
Oh. Well, all of the foxes pissing around our backyard don't keep the deer from eating our herbs and stuff.
That's true. Well,
Or birds.
maybe we should
birds
put
don't
some
care.
fox pea on our plants.
But I
And
see
then
them
eat them.
spraying. Anyway, we're getting off track.
Sorry, I asked.
We're all sorry.
Yeah, none of us enjoyed the answer.
I considered the frozen lump in my hand. Decided I didn't want to know. I figured nobody in their right mind would go pawing through this freezer, Cassie said. Besides, I needed a place where no living creature could accidentally come into contact with the cube. I'm with you on that one. I agree.
Except your dad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just digging for some fox pea and finds a cube.
Or popsicle.
It looks like it's an alien artifact.
Axe went to work on the Helmacron ship. I watched for a while. He used some of the surgical equipment Cassie's dad kept in the barn because he's a
Serial killer!
murderer.
He's a serial killer!
I said it. I called it. You heard it here first, folks.
Maybe he's a farm vet.
It's weird how much plastic sheeting he keeps around.
Held the precise instruments in his delicate andalite fingers and carefully manipulated controlling rods the size of human hairs.
Picture like a deer,
Squinting
like a
at the
sample.
procedure for 10 minutes was enough to give me a headache.
What's he doing to the ship? Did I miss
Fixing
it?
it?
It doesn't matter.
Using the shrink ray on it to shrink them
I'm not
down
drunk
to
enough for
go
this.
in. So we know the inside cover picture is the inside of a nose.
Oh, that's what the goo is. It's snot. It's not sap. It's snot.
But there still looks like
Wait,
a
but
giant
why is there?
foot.
a
I
big
feel-
foot?
No, but they're
Because they're getting shrunk down, right? They're going to shrink down to go get the Helmacron, so it's just
Yeah.
they're scaled next to a boot, I guess.
But why
The
would
more
boot
I
be in the
understand
nose?
this photo, the less I wish I understood this picture.
I still don't
Knowledge
really
is not
understand.
always power. Sometimes knowledge is pain.
My eyes kept drifting to Marco.
Yeah, they did.
Still sitting on the hay, looking miserable. I wandered over to him, sat next to him, considered giving him a hug, but I couldn't quite bring myself to actually do it. You okay? I asked. Great. I always wanted to grow up to be a Helmacron Holiday Inn. It wasn't funny, which we all realized, but I smiled anyway. We're going to get them, I told Marco. An hour later, Axe was finished. An hour has passed.
Where are they in his body at this point?
Oh my god.
Behind his eyes.
This device is very simple to operate, Axe told us. The target size has been set. All we have to do is touch this panel and it should engage the shrinking ray. I felt wired, nervous energy. I was anxious to get moving. The Helmacrons had been in Marco's body for over an hour. Plenty of time to do plenty of damage. Just show me which button to push, Marco told Axe eagerly. Jake looked at Marco. You're going to shrink us? Who else? I thought Axe would do it. Isn't he going, on a mission? Marco asked. Well, we know there are at least 12 Helmacrons, I said. 5 of us. Even with Axe, they outnumber us more than 2 to 1. I say he comes.
Okay. Operating the device is not difficult.
Which is why I don't really understand where they're going in as people. Do they have weapons?
Yeah,
They're
right.
children.
Yeah.
Do they have guns that they can shoot the Helmacrons with? I feel like they're better off being, literally any animal.
So is that a helmet?
Especially a bug. Because then they'd have, armored
Yeah.
shells and stuff instead of just being, tiny
Just
children in a nose.
tiny person in a nose. Yeah, exactly. Operating the device is not difficult, Axe repeated. I may be more useful up Marco's nose. Marco giggled nervously.
That didn't sound too weird.
Jake looked troubled. Marco, don't you want to have someone here with you? He asked.
You mean in case I collapse,
Marco asked.
pass out, or to make things crystal clear, drop dead?
Jake rubbed his eyes.
So much.
Right, he said wearily.
No!
Marco shook his head.
If you don't mind, I'd rather have the maximum firepower working to make sure none of those things happen. What's Axe going to do for me here? Hold my hand?
We still have the
Not with that attitude.
we still have the camera to deal with, Jake pointed out. Remember the first plot line?
I'll handle the kid.
Marco said.
One homie shutterbug is nothing compared to a tiny bunch of
Homie?
squabbling psychopaths from outer space.
Homie.
We don't know if he's using it in that way. Like, homie, don't play that or something.
One homie
I don't think
shutterbug.
that's how it's-
It just means like homie.
Yeah, that
Jake's,
doesn't make sense either, though.
No, it doesn't either way. I'd just rather it not be racist.
Jake's
I don't
expression.
think it's racist. I think it's just dumb.
Jake's expression got serious. Homie, he said.
Oh, okay.
Look, you can't take unnecessary risks while this mission is going on. Don't play hero. Just keep in touch with Eric
Yeah.
or whoever he's got on surveillance. Who the fuck is Eric?
I don't know. I read that name earlier too, and I just
E-R-E-K.
I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. Prince Jake X said, Prince Jake X said, I would also strongly advise Marco not to morph while we are inside his body. As far as
Yeah.
as far as I know,
Thank
this is
God.
an unprecedented event in the history of morphing technology.
It's technology now.
There's no way to predict what the redistribution of his mass into Z space and the substitution of a foreign DNA will do to our miniaturized bodies. Jake pushed his hair off his forehead. Got that, Marco? Not really. Axe, try English.
Don't morph.
Jake said.
morph.
No morphing under any circumstances. Don't worry. The thought sort of makes me sick. Okay, Axe, you're with us. I'm hoping you won't be gone long. But Marco? Yeah. Eric's phone number is on the fridge. Listen, is it okay if I help myself to a snack after the kids go to bed? What fucking kid? What are
Kids, are you in a barn?
all of
Help
this
yourself to some frozen pea. Who cares?
all of this strategic planning is fun and all, I said loudly, remembering that I'm in this story. But we're giving the Helmicrons a big honkin' head start. This book is amazing. Okay, Jake said. In the words of my gung-ho cousin, let's do it.
You know, my cousin. What the fuck?
So good.
Jake and Rachel are cousins.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
We should hold hands, Cassie said. That way we won't get separated when we shrink. Maybe. The five of us huddled together. I took Cassie's hand and gently held Tobias's wing. We watched as Marco hovered over the Helmicron ship, looking too big
It's
and
like
clumsy.
pinching a little wing.
You want me to just finish that, or
Yeah, go ahead.
well, you just do this page and the next page?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those are-
Wait, so the hawk is gonna shrink down too? So there's gonna be like a tiny,
Little hawk
like a
flapping
tiny
around in
hawk
there.
flapping around in his body.
Oh my god.
It'd be so damp you wouldn't get any like. There's like no airflow.
Simply place your hand on the panel and pull down on the left rod, Axe said. Yeah, I got it, Marco said. Ready, set. Make sure it is the left rod, Axe said. You do not want to touch the right one.
What do you think he's gonna do?
I got it, Marco said,
Nailed
sounding
it.
annoyed. Ready? Flash! A flash bulb brilliance. The light was green and shockingly bright, like looking into an emerald sun. Then, with surprising speed, we all
Poetic.
started to get very small. Chapter 6. Down. Down and down and down. We were shrinking. Fast. The Helmicron ship and the blue box were growing larger. Marco was positively enormous. Hey, Marco, I said, from this angle, you actually look tall. Rude.
Bitch.
Hey, cool. Too bad you can't shrink the whole school, I said. Oh, they're gonna fuck.
Jesus.
Ha. And free this month only, a bonus ha.
What?
Oh my god.
What a
Shrinking.
clever child.
I love Marco.
Shrinking is something like morphing an insect, but different too. It's like it, but it's not. When I've been in fly morph, the fly instincts feel that being tiny is natural.
The fly instincts mean I have to seek out shit. Just
Constantly barf on
stand
it.
on
and then
it.
Eat it. And then barf on it. And then eat it.
Being a teeny weeny human is just plain weird. I started out at 5 foot something, Now I was roughly the size of an American Girl doll and getting tinier rapidly.
There's a lot of product placement.
There's a lot of weird references here. We were the Littles. I don't get that. The Borrowers. Thumbelina and Friends. Marco was
What?
wearing...
The Borrowers? I loved The Borrowers.
That sounds familiar. I don't remember
The
it
Littles
super
sounds
well.
familiar.
That's a
Wasn't that a
book.
movie?
That's a
It
book
is.
about like tiny people who live in a house, and then there's like a lawyer or something who's trying to sell the house, and they're trying to protect their
Borrowers is good
house.
shit.
We were like the
I think
Indian
it's a
in the
movie,
cupboard.
too.
Yeah, that reference I'd get. Thumbelina.
I don't know what the Littles are. Thumbelinas.
The Littles.
I think they had tails. I think it was a cartoon.
I'm gonna find out.
Marco was peering down on us. His face was the size of a billboard on Times Square.
Do their clothes
he-
also shrink?
I don't know yet.
Oh, good lord, that's creepy. It's a cartoon. And they look like half mouse people.
Ugh.
Oh,
They
God.
are like little elfin
Yeah, they're like kind of chipmunky
things. They all have like chipmunk
Oh, yeah,
teeth
like
and
elf
elf
ears.
and
yes.
tails. They
I
have
remember-
tails.
Okay, I remember that now.
remembered, right?
I don't like it. I like the Borrowers.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
You remember Capital Critters? It's a show about a bunch of mice that lived in the White House.
Oh.
That's adorable.
Okay. There was a movie, and it looks like it had John Goodman as the guy trying to sell the house.
For the Littles?
Oh, the Borrowers.
Or the
Yeah.
Borrowers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jim Broadbent. I totally saw this movie. I forgot about it.
Broadbent.
And
He's a treasure.
I don't know this actress's name, but she's in a bunch of stuff. She was in Nanny McPhee. And other more reputable things.
I think there's also
I love
like
Nanny
a
McPhee.
Miyazaki movie that is The Borrowers, but it goes by a character's name or something. I don't know.
Smurfs are also little. She could have said Smurfs.
All right.
So many
Let's
Snorks.
just stop
Well, they're not that
naming
little. They're 3
things.
apples tall.
But it's so much more interesting.
That's what a Smurf is.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
smaller
that's
than
about
an
the size
American
of it,
Girl.
yeah.
American Girl doll's like that big, right?
Well, that was like mid-shrinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's getting smaller and smaller.
She's just giving us reference points for every
Oh
second
my
of
God,
this
let me
process.
finish reading. I want to be free of this. Marco was peering down on us. His face was the size of a billboard on Times Square. If he'd been wearing Calvin Klein briefs and nothing else, the illusion would have been complete. Almost.
Oh, because of Times Square. Okay.
But they don't typically put children in only underwear on billboards.
This is the horniest book
Yeah,
we've
no.
ever read.
It is
I feel like she was
truly.
going like, if he was wearing Calvin Klein briefs, his dick would have looked even bigger.
Remember, Marco,
right where my
Jake
brain
called
went.
no morphing. What did you say? Marco asked. Small people are hard to hear. I said no morphing. But at that point, it probably sounded like, I said no morphing. The font's smaller.
Oh, the
That's
font's
a good
tiny.
touch.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
a good touch.
I like that.
I can't hear you. Marco was starting to sound like a cheerleader at one of those televised competitions.
Well, so a football game?
They
I
already...
can't hear you.
Oh my God, they already went through this so many fucking times. The rest of this page is just them telling him not to morph.
Read it all of it.
No, I'm not. The rest of the page is them telling him not to morph, but it doesn't matter because we all know he's going
He's
to
gonna
fucking
morph.
morph.
He's gonna morph.
Obviously.
Wait, what's the...
It'll
Okay.
probably be like a
You're on
scene
the
where
left
it's like
side.
they're getting flushed
Yeah.
down like a toilet. They're just,
All right, so yeah. She was right. The rest of the page was that, and then the last line was, that was when the first... Wait, no. This didn't make sense.
Oh,
That was when the first wave of fear rippled through me. Okay, morphing is creepy. But in a strange way, you're in control. Something morphed in here. It's a Helmacron! Get out of my house, you Helmacron!
What the hell, Macron?
What? Concentrate hard enough and you can control the morph, at least to some extent. Concentrate hard enough, and even when you think you're about to take your dying breath, you can get your own body back. But shrinking? I couldn't undo this on my own. It was, in a very real and spooky way, my life was in Marco's hands. And, of course, Marco was infested with microscopic lunatics that wanted him and us out of their way, of course, obviously. Now, we were flea-sized and still shrinking. The workbench loomed overhead like a windowless skyscraper. The treads on Marco's running shoes were like enormous purple sculptures. Down, down and down and down, down until rake marks in the dirt looked like hills. Down until
Bits of hay were huge. Felled trees and grains of dirt were the size of soccer balls.
See, any other bug would have been bigger than that.
Yeah.
And it would have been a lot easier to kill. Like, you could have sent 2 ants in there.
Yeah. And we were still shrinking until we vanished and everyone died at the end.
Wow, great book.
Marco's mammoth form was entirely filling my view.
I just thought of some...
His voice just blinked out mid-sentence.
Like a radio suddenly switched off, but I knew Marco was still talking, because he was always talking. I could sense his words as sound waves breaking around me. Cassie gripped my hand a bit tighter. What just happened? We are too small to hear sounds, Axe said. That didn't happen before. Right, Tobias agreed. When the Helmicron shrunk me and Cassie and Marco, we could still hear. You couldn't hear us, but we could hear you. Cassie looked at me. Something's wrong.
But aren't they, like...
Small to hear sound.
It seems like they're all telepathic anyway, because even when they're humans, they can hear their hawk friend
Yeah.
in their heads.
And their
Which I don't really understand.
friends.
And their alien friend.
Oh no.
Oh, you look too excited.
Okay. All right. Chapter 7. Marco.
Hi, Marco here. You're expecting some sort of glib remark, a joke, a witty comment. Well, I wasn't in a Jim Carrey kind of space. The Helmicrons hadn't exactly charmed me the first time around. Basically, I'd decided they were insane. Now they were inside my body. In there with little unimportant things like my heart and my lungs and my friends.
You might say that they're insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain?
Oh, I hate you both.
I love you guys. The truth, I was thinking about scribbling out a little note telling Jake to take my stereo after I was gone, explaining to Father what really happened to Mom.
So
What?
gonna be like scribble a little note.
Hold the fucking phone. Explaining to Dad what really happened to Mom?
What?
Wait, what?
Whoa, we missed something.
Oh,
Tell
I
him
don't think we did.
did the Helmicrons kill his mom?
And this last bit.
Telling Rachel about the dream where she begged me to marry her.
The mom thing seems more important than the dream.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's book 42, but, like, come on. Like, why wouldn't you bring that up?
Dad, I killed Mother.
So I have to read this whole page in this voice, huh?
Yes, you do.
Adding to the general creepiness factor was the fact that my friends weren't talking to me. I heard Axe say, "No morphing." Then, nothing. Nothing for at least a minute. Then,
Marco, this is Axe. We have a problem. You will not be able to hear the others. Just Tobias and me in thought speak.
"But you can hear me, right?"
That's not that much of a problem.
Yeah. All right, so you can talk still.
Another long pause. Then,
Cassie said I should explain that none of us can hear you either.
Axe, of course. "Well, how annoying," I said. I mean, how am I supposed to keep up troop morale when nobody can even hear my comic genius?
Is that what he's there for?
Nothing. Oh, right. They couldn't hear me.
You need to pick us up and put us in your nose.
Axe said.
I love Axe.
His stick goes right up your butt, Morty.
Jim, way up there.
Sure, except, big problem, how was I supposed to pick them up without squishing them? I had to squint just to see them. They were, like, the size of dandruff flakes. I leaned over and stared at the ground. Okay, second big problem, I'd lost them. Frantically, I scanned the dirt and hay.
Why is that happening? Oh, Chris is showing us a terrifying video of a raccoon drinking water.
An
with the
adorable-
longest
an
tongue I've ever
Absurdly
seen.
long tongue.
Why is his teeth out? He looks like he's angry, but he's thirsty. Like,
I leaned over and stared at the ground. Okay, second big problem, I'd lost them. Frantically, I scanned the dirt and hay. Nothing. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I was ticked. We hadn't thought of this.
Bad Marco.
We should have arranged for everyone to hop on my hand when they got to be about an inch high.
yeah.
And then what? Snort them?
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing that voice. Because finding my friend seemed totally impossible. major feeling of dread. I'd faced death before. Each one of us had at least one major close call. Had. But this was different.
42 of them.
This was everyone. As in, I would be the only Animorph left alive. Little me against all the bad guys. But also, like, your life is also in danger. Why are you not thinking that everyone's fighting inside your face?
Still have aliens in you.
I felt like puking. Stress. Or something else. Some strange little aliens marching through my, what? Nose? Lungs? Brain?
Urethra?
Doing who knows what kind of damage. No time to freak out. Time to find my friends and stick them up my nose. Ah! Tobias suddenly screamed in my head. Ah! My stomach took a lurch. Definitely stress. Marco, now would be an excellent time to remove us from the floor, Axe said. Fine, I muttered. Just tell me where you are. Of course, they couldn't hear me. Then I saw it. A black bug with a hard shell.
Weird pincers in the front. Scary. Considering how panicked Tobias sounded, my friends were somewhere near that big bad beetle.
Bored.
Fuck. I dropped to my
Is that
knees.
a Star Trek thing?
No, it was a show, right?
Yeah, big bad Beetleborgs.
I dropped to my knees. At first, nothing but dirt. Then, there! A few too colorful grains of sand. I tried to count them. I couldn't smash the beetle if he had one of my friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, wait. I reached out and I snatched up the beetle by a back leg. Flung him toward the freezer. Thanks, Tobias said shakily. You're welcome, I muttered, even though he wouldn't hear me. Okay, I could see the colorful specks, but I still had no idea how to pick them up, and I was afraid to look away. Chapter 8. Rachel, have these chapters had titles before? Oh, no.
I think they just do that when the
Perspective
viewpoint-
changes.
Oh, all right. Okay. Chapter 8. Rachel, I'm going to read this page too. Our little vacation in the hay forest was nice, but I was ready to leave. Especially after the beetle episode. We could see Marco hovering overhead. His face was an entire landscape. Nose mountain. Cheek plains. He was a giant. Why doesn't he pick us up? Cassie asked. Marco wasn't doing anything except staring at us. Maybe he's waiting for Jake to tell him what to do, I said nastily. Jesus. Tiny is definitely not my thing. Axe looked at Jake. Prince Jake, is it possible Marco is afraid of hurting us? Why is he calling him Prince?
Because he's an alien. He don't know better. Right, Jake said. Let's tell him how to pick us up. How should he pick us up? Easy, I said. We grab a piece of hay, he sticks it up his nose, and we're off. Jake nodded. That piece there. He pointed to a piece of hay a few paces away. Climbing it was easy. At our size, the hay looked rough.
What do you say?
Like someone had taken a cheese grater to its side. I grabbed a couple of handholds and pulled myself up. No problem. I feel like I could take on Schwarzenegger, I said.
I feel like I could take on the whole empire.
Cassie nodded as she scrambled up beside me. Something about being small makes you stronger. We noticed it before, like ants lifting 1,000 times their weight, so they're all Ant-Man.
That does not make sense
yeah,
unless you are an ant.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a tiny person, I'd just feel like a tiny person.
If I was a tiny person, I'd try to lift this paper and be like,
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Once we were all aboard, Axe told Marco to pick up the hay. 2 fingers the size of sequoia trunks, lowered, pinched, and lifted. Ah, Cassie screamed. Ah, I yelled. We were being blasted into space. The G-force knocked me on my butt. I just managed to hang on. The wind was whipping. I could barely breathe. I saw something flash by. Could have been Marco's knee. Slow down, Tobias shouted. The wind died down. The landscape beneath us shifted from jeans color to t-shirt color to chin color.
T-shirts come in a variety of colors.
No.
So do
T-shirt
chins.
color.
All right. Fantastic voyage, I said. The voyage inside Marco.
How many more references are they going to make to
God, I don't know.
being small?
That was an old
When did
sci-fi
Inner Space
movie.
come out?
Before this book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was
Like late 80s, right?
85, I think, or something like that.
I still love that movie.
It's a great film.
That was an old sci-fi movie. This is a horror flick. Tobias said. We passed into shadow. Apparently into, can I just say, ew? Marco's nose.
Gag me with a spoon.
When my eyes adjusted to the dimness, I saw a widely spaced forest of rough, textured black hairs sprouting out of what looked like a waxy pink granite wall. The hairs were sapling-sized, long, crisscrossing high overhead. A shifting, intermittent wind tossed them. Okay, everybody off, Jake said. He reached for a nearby hair. Tobias fluttered above my head.
Forgetting one of them's a hawk. A tiny hawk.
Prince Jake, I should morph first, Axe said. I think my hooves will slow me down in this terrain.
Do it.
I don't know. I reached out for a hair and pulled myself onto it. The hair sagged under my weight.
Ew.
Below, the void. I could see a bright oval spot of light. I was looking straight out of Marco's nostril.
Oh yeah, here's a thought. Did they bring like headlamps in there with them?
Okay.
Because
Here's my
they're not gonna be able to see shit.
And here's my other thought. Every time, like, this has ever happened in pop culture where, like, they need to go inside a human body, you're wearing, like, a spacesuit and you're in basically a tiny spaceship. They're just fucking in there. Like, once they get anywhere past, like, his nose, it's not like there's a bunch of just air in your body.
Yeah.
Your body is just goo. Your body is just, like, liquid and goo and...
Bones.
Goo and bones.
If all of the documentaries where people went inside people that I've watched have taught me anything, is you need some sort of submersible that could withstand great amounts of
like a
pressure.
school bus.
Like a tiny,
like a
school bus,
or a
or a
little
tiny
spaceship.
submarine, or a tiny spaceship,
Like Fantastic
and you
Voyage
need,
and-
and like double, you
That
know,
episode of Futurama.
yeah, and like even better, like just put, they also have suits so that when they go out of the spaceship, because they're gonna be just like floating in blood,
What if they end up in his stomach?
they'll
could
be
be an
dissolved to
acid.
death.
And
they
want to
need
read about
flashlights
that.
for sure.
Say what?
They need flashlights
Absolutely
for sure.
need flashlights.
Maybe they packed them. We'll see.
They'll turn into an animal and use their night eyes.
Oh yeah. Owls, just a bunch of owls
Just a bunch
flying
of
around his body.
tiny owls flying around your insides.
I was looking straight out of Marco's nostril.
God.
The ground was miles and miles away. I quickly scrambled toward the overhang. Ugh, the wall was oddly warm. Body temperature.
Ew.
There was something really weird about pressing myself into Marco's skin. Because you want to fuck him.
There was something really weird about being
Gave me-
tiny and inside Marco's nose.
Gave me a...
or something.
That's what. That's the other thing I was thinking. Like, should
Yeah.
he lay down? He's like standing up. If he moves, they're all gonna be
Yeah,
like,
they're already
"Whoa!"
fighting gravity.
Yeah.
Gave me a massive case of the heebie-jeebies.
We've all got the heebie-jeebies. You
I
know,
love this book, though.
Jake said thoughtfully,
Book really
I
heaps
think
my
this is the
jeeb.
most disgusting mission we've ever done. Something about being inside Marco makes me feel like a yerk. Check it out, Cassie
I forgot
whispered.
about those.
You
I
can
did
feel Marco's breath in. A cool breeze blew up from the opening below us and out. Now a warmer, moist breeze blew in the opposite
It's the most
direction.
sexual book.
Oh.
Horrifying.
Ugh.
Are they all this gross?
I
I
hope
wonder.
so.
I don't know.
Damn.
Also, here's
I'm
okay.
gonna read them in my own time.
I was really looking forward to like a book full of kids morphing into animals, but but like that's not what this book is. Like we read the wrong one.
I think we read the right one.
I clung, staring up. The wall arched over my head at a 45-degree angle. I couldn't see the end of the overhang, but it went way, way up, disappearing into darkness. There was no sign of the Helmicrons, no footprints to tell us which way to go. Now what? I asked. Climb? Cassie suggested. I watched as Axe completed his morph to Northern Harrier. As his stalk eyes withered and vanished, I will never understand why. They turned into tiny people, and now we're turning into tiny animals instead of just turning into tiny bugs.
How fucked up
Or
would
just
it be?
regular size bugs. Regular
Yeah.
bugs.
So
Yeah.
when
Because
they're
now if they turn into a tiny bug, they'll be
They'll
really,
be too
really,
small.
really, really tiny.
They'll be way too small. They'll enter the quantum realm.
But like I was thinking, it's like okay, so like mass, right? So they can turn into a tiny little bug or a
Yeah.
gigantic little thing, regardless of what size they are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what if,
that's
like,
true.
their human form shrunk, but if she turned into
an
an
elephant.
elephant,
Yeah,
he
she'd
just
still be bigger than a
exploded.
person.
His nose be like, ah!
Yeah, like what would be the
Wait, what
relative
does-
size
Yeah.
of like a 1/16 of an inch tall person turning into that ratio of an elephant?
Yeah. It
What's
really-
that size?
it would really fuck
Might
up
as well
Marco.
have been a tick. Oh, God. I hate this. I hate this. I watched as Axe completed his morph to Northern Harrier, as his stalk eyes withered and vanished. Slurp! His tail violently disappeared into his body
Ooh.
like an electric cord into a vacuum.
Ew!
Tail feathers shot out. Let's all get wings, I suggested. Flying will be easier than trying to rock climb. So they are all going to turn into fucking birds inside their friend's face.
Until you're in goo. Can't fly through goo.
Where'd the bullet go, Doctor? It's in goo.
So his tail just like shot back up into his butt.
It slurped.
Basically.
Yeah, it was like,
The way they described every morph is that there's a slurp.
yeah. Every morph is like just flaccid,
Just wet.
flapping,
Like
slapping.
they get all wet.
That's
first,
why I was
and then
thinking
they
of The
change.
Fly, because all I
Yeah.
can think of is just
Yeah.
how goopy Jeff Goldblum is in that movie.
He was very goopy.
They Brundlemorph.
Was that the draw of these books? Just like gross,
I don't.
grosso stuff?
I did not. I don't know. I never read
Well,
them.
Yeah, I
mean,
guess I'm not asking you,
I think
but
the
and
draw of
like
the
I don't
books-
remember that much of them
The
from when I
draw of
was
the books
younger.
is always the cover. You know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like you look at the cover and it's just like, oh, a girl turning into an elephant.
But that
Obviously,
shit's
it's the
the
book about
first-
going in their friend's body.
Yeah. This shit's the first page.
Yeah,
This is the first
She already
page.
was that elephant.
Like this next bit is giving us a little extra. Although, like, yeah, I'm guessing she turns into an elephant. Well, but why is there a boot in there?
Right? Are the Helmicrons? No, I don't understand. I would have.
You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night like, what the Helmicrons, John? The
Yeah.
Helmicrons.
She's gonna shake me awake and just be like, I can't stop thinking about the
The math
Helmicrons.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the shrink ray make them the same size as the Helmicrons?
Yeah.
So an elephant should be bigger than a Helmicron.
Are you saying the boot belongs to a Helmicron?
I'm saying it could, but I, just don't know.
I think that's a Helmicron.
But who does the boot belong to?
I don't know. I want to know why there's
that
a boot in a nose.
Marco's foot or something, because he's the only one regular sized at this point.
But
But it looks
but
like
they're-
it's in his body. It,
but they're-
it does look like it's in a
No.
body.
Yeah, like look at the background. The background looks like the skin of a hand, like your palm.
But it's all wet.
I know.
I hate this.
All right.
Okay, Helmicrons are a tiny alien race, being about 1/16 of an inch tall. We already know that point. They appear humanoid insectoid with blue skin, 2 pairs of legs, heads shaped like upside down cones, 2 googly eyes sitting on top, and vertical mouths. Female Helmicrons are larger and more aggressive
Oh,
than
yeah.
male Helmicrons.
Yeah,
that
so
what that is?
So that's a Helmicron.
Let me
right?
see it.
Yeah, so that lizard-looking thing's a Helmicron.
That's a Helmicron. This thing that you can't
I
see
don't like it.
is a Helmicron. All right.
I still think they sound like little elves.
All right, we're almost done. Hanging onto the delicate nose hairs and the slick wall, we morphed. Tricky, but I felt much better as a bald eagle, touching Marco's insides was wigging me out. Wait till you have sex. Morphs complete. We put our backs to Marco's nostril and flew. A red-tailed hawk, a peregrine falcon, a northern harrier, a bald eagle, an owl. On and on, like flying into a cave. Darker and darker the deeper we got. Oh, yeah. Flying was easier than climbing, but it was still hard work because it was moist. Because it was inside a nose. Each time Marco exhaled, we lost ground. A bald eagle can hover for hours on a nice updraft. But there were no updrafts here. Soon I was exhausted from flapping my wings up and down.
They say flapping a lot.
Before long, Before long, a flat plain opened up beneath us. My raptor ears started to pick up sounds.
It's a bird term.
I know, but Helmicrons, Tobias said, farther in. They sounded angry, as if they were arguing. Women, am I right? Because they're like men and women.
I understand.
Finally, I could make out their forms.
Do you see what I see? I asked. The Helmicrons, Jake said. Yes, but I hesitated, uncertain. Bald eagles see well during the day. They can spot a salmon swimming upstream from a mile up. But it was dark now, and I was practically blind.
Yeah, why the fuck wasn't she an owl to begin with, all of them?
Yeah. Isn't something wrong? Take us home, Chris. Please, for the love of God.
Please.
I feel like
end
these were
this.
just a natural progression from zoo books. Trick kids into learning. The Helmicrons look kind of
These are barely
big, Tobias said. Kind of big, as in enormous, huge, gargantuan.
They shrunk too far.
They were the size of giraffes. No, bigger, twice as big. An easy mistake to make.
Twice as big as a giraffe.
As big as air,
Brachiosaurus.
as big as air traffic control towers. I could morph elephant and still only come up to their calves. Another thing.
Where the fucking Marco's body are they?
Another thing, these were some
Sinus cavity?
seriously ugly aliens. Oh, they're finally describing what they look like. Heads, wide and perfectly flat on top. Eyes rolled around up there like big green marbles. Faces, upside down pyramids. Chins, barbed. Teeth gnashed in from either side of their mouths. And an extra set of legs made them look like walking tables. They appear to be exactly 100 times our size, Axe said calmly. How? Jake wondered. It is possible. Perhaps I made a miscalculation when I calibrated the shrinking device.
Oh, you dumbass.
Axe? Make a simple mathematical error? No. More likely the Helmicrons guessed we'd try to use the shrinking ray, I said. Guessed and sabotaged it before they bailed out of their ship. The little stinkers, Cassie said.
Bum, 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 bum. Jesus Christ.
You guys have made me do a lot of weird stuff into this microphone, and I might hate you the most for this one.
Yeah, this was
Perfectly
rough.
fair.
This was great, but it was rough.
I
Jesus.
loved every bit of it.
I just want to real quick see if we can recap what the fuck just happened.
Nope. I can't tell you a damn thing.
She started out as an elephant. They were in a Dunkin' Donuts. They were fighting a bunch of zombies. People had been taken over by brain slugs. They killed a bunch of them. Succeeded in their plan.
They
I
had
don't
like a
even know what
James
their-
Bond opening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they had a successful mission.
Yeah,
and-
it was like the end of a successful mission. Then they all went to a gross alley.
Yeah, some kid took a picture of them.
Kid took a
While
picture
they were
of
slurping
while
back
they
to
were
normal.
Yeah.
While her flaccid tusks were slapping
Do
together.
you think if she turned her head like too soon while transporting, like a tusk would hit you in the face?
Oh, definitely. If
Absolutely.
yeah, they would just be like. And then they all turned into various birds, tailed this guy for like 2 days, I think.
Yeah, found him but did nothing about it.
Found him, but did nothing about it. Went to a barn
Where a dildo rode in driving a Barbie truck.
full of tiny, angry alien women.
And men.
And men? They were
Yeah.
there too, I guess.
Which apparently in the last book they encountered them, they freed the men.
And then the
Which, like, what are you trying to get
tiny
across?
aliens
Applegate?
leapt out of the dildo. Marco got knocked out. They went up his nose. Everyone argued for a while. And now it's Fantastic Voyage / Inner Space /
Just like the about the
Magic
awesome
School
ones.
Bus.
Yeah. And they are way too small.
And they're way too small. That is too much stuff.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out that that was 47 pages. That's it.
Out of 140.
Like, what else is gonna happen? I'm
Yeah.
so tired.
Yeah, that was part 1 of 3 of us reading this thing.
This is who wrote it.
Oh, she's cute.
That puppy?
Wait, let me see.
She probably morphs into the puppy.
Who's the person holding her?
Okay.
A Helmicron. Do you think she named that puppy Helmicron?
Ah,
That would be great.
hope so. Did she write all of them, or is this like a collaborative
That's a good question.
series?
Catherine Alice Applegate is an
Oh.
American young adult and children's fiction writer,
Related
best
to
known as the
Christina
author of the
Applegate? I'll make the
Animorphs.
same joke twice.
Mother of Christina Applegate.
Let's see. Oh, she has several pen names. L.E. Blair, Catherine Kendall, Beth Kincaid, A.R. Plum, and Pat Polari.
Most of those sound like they
Did
write
she
romance novels.
ever write romance novels?
Yeah, most of
That's
those.
what I want to know.
This is too much of a Wikipedia article to read the whole thing,
I
but
don't need to know that much about her, right?
No, we should probably just
Ann Arbor,
Stop now.
Michigan.
All right, let's go to Ann Arbor, track her down, ask her why.
What did you do
Ask
this?
why. Why did you do this?
Okay, so thanks for listening to this episode of Below Grade Level. I don't feel good about it. I feel real weird about this book.
She has an entire series called the Making Out series.
Yes.
And
Why are we reading those?
original publication when the series was titled Boyfriends/Girlfriends. Only the first 8 books were written by Applegate of this, though, and they are titled Zoe Fools Around, Jake Finds Out, Nina Won't Tell, Ben's in Love, Claire Gets Caught, What
my
Zoe
God.
Saw, Lucas Gets Hurt, Aisha Goes Wild, Zoe Plays Games, Nina Shapes Up, Ben Takes a Chance, Claire Can't Lose, Don't Tell Zoe, Aaron Let's Go, Who Loves Kate, Laura Gets Even, Two-Timing Aisha, Zoe Speaks Out, Kate Finds Love, Never Trust Laura. Trouble with Aaron, Always Loving Zoe, Laura Gets Lucky, Now Zoe's Alone. Don't forget Laura, Zoe's Broken
Oh my
Heart,
God, please
Falling
stop.
for Claire, and Zoe Comes Home.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Whoa!
I want to read those.
I wish we were reading those so much more. Oh my god. Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Greatest writer ever.
join us next time when we continue this thing. Where we read,
This journey.
where we keep going on this journey together. Because that's the name of the book. And we read part 2 of 3. And God help who our next guest is.
Not gonna be me. I refuse.
Yeah. We'll call you back when we do Babysitters Club.
Yes,
because that
please.
shit's fun.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Those have gotten better as we've gone on.
Babysitters
Oh,
Club.
definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
Just the books themselves, like judging them by themselves, they've gotten better.
What would you like to? Do you have anything to plug?
No.
Do you think you have anything that you want people to know about, or do you want to?
The CD reads, which we plugged earlier.
Cool.
There's only like 6 episodes, but they're fun.
They're great. I love them. You should listen to them. Becca, anything besides
Just,
CD reads?
just that one.
CD reads.
Pop Second Theater.
Pop Second Theater.
Reedy Seeds.
Chris,
Go home.
Chris, anything that you would like to let our listeners know about?
Nope, that's pretty much everything else that you guys plugged,
Yeah.
other than CD reads.
We all do the same shit
involved with
together.
We all do the same shit
everything
together.
else, so
Check out cactusrodeo.com. I renamed my comic last year, and then I stopped drawing it, so I need to start doing that again soon, now that it's January, and I should be productive. So,
Resolutions and whatnot.
resolutions. I'm going to make more puppets, and I'm going to draw more stupid things.
my resolution's to do more stand up.
I did not make a
Started that
resolution.
again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Below Grade Level is a Cactus Radio production. You can contact us at podcast@cactusrodeo.com. Subscribe and follow on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify, and follow Cactus Rodeo on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more entertainment and updates.